Hello friends, it's Lorian Witch here with your monthly reading for October for all 12 signs. This introduction actually is just going to be the same because I wanted to reach every single one of you and basically say a big huge hug and a big thank you to your consistent support, your comments, your interactions. People on Facebook who've been liking some of my posts, Twitter, which I'm now back on. I did get hacked temporarily, but I'm on Twitter again now. And generally just being awesome people, subscribing, sharing videos. I think I've mentioned in several of the videos that I did not expect as big of an audience, mainly, and resonance with a lot of people. So the fact that you will really connect with me as well as a reader, that means a lot, and I like that you show your support. To my patrons on Patreon, thank you so much as well. Every little helps, honestly. It's really, I'm going to do everything that I can to invest in this channel and hopefully address you more personally in the future and get more tarot decks, get more ways and methods of giving you these messages. And it's a shame that I've not got enough to invest at this point in time myself, but any help that you have is amazing. Also to the people who've asked for readings from me, every time you send me an email and say, you know, that you have resonated with the reading and you know the feedback that I get, and you tell me, you know, where you feel that the reading has taken you and the messages, it just validates a lot of what I do, and it keeps me really on a higher vibration. I didn't anticipate that this beginning was going to be so rambly and full of love. However, I'm very pleased that it is. It's probably because Mercury's in Libra right now or something, I don't know. But yes, I really, really enjoy talking to all of you, and thank you so much. Details of how to get in touch with me for a reading: I do Skype now, and video and email. I also do customised readings, so if you don't see anything that you feel suits you, do ask me via email and let me know. Facebook, message me if you need to, connect with me on there. I'm not just a reader on the side of the screen. I am here trying to connect with every one of you. If I could come and give you a high five and do a personal reading for every single one of you, I probably would. But yeah, just thank you so much, and check out the ways to contact me. They'll also be at the end of your reading as well. It does apply to your sun, rising and moon sign. I think if I was to get into any other planet, it might be a little bit of a shaky thing there, but hopefully September will has been good to you, and we're now going into October. Very looking forward to seeing what holds for you. So let's get to your monthly sign reading. Hello lovely Leo, it's Lorian here with your October reading. Thank you for watching. Sorry this is a little bit later than the other videos. As you may know, I have to do these in stages, simply because my equipment isn't always working and I don't always have the time, and there's various other elements coupled with Mercury being retrograde right now. As you may hear in the background occasionally, my computer is starting to shudder and shake, so I'll just see if I can get this done and uploaded for you as quickly as possible. Now this month, because it's October, it's an airy month. I now have the Truth Seekers Tarot by, I think it's David Fontana, I'm not too sure, and we also have, as usual, have the Oracle card of the month to oversee what kind of general feeling that we have. Now then, 4 cards, each representing approximately a week of energy in regards to October. They're all very fiery and they're all very strong. Now I know that you see 6 of Cups and Queen of Swords. You may think, but that's water and that's air. Well no, this is actually incredibly a fiery, strong energy that's coming through here. Now the 6 of Cups here is about nostalgia. It's about looking back on how things used to be. It can be, not always, connected with children or childhood, but I feel that for you it's important in this first week not to spend too much time and effort thinking about the good old days, because in a way I do believe you're moving forwards. You're going to be doing something within October that sets the stage and sets the precedence for the rest of your year or the rest of this month in particular. So this is an excellent time for doing something that involves a lot of creativity. So distract yourself. If your work doesn't allow you to make, a bit of creativity on the side, or whatever creativity means to you, it doesn't have to mean painting. It can just be that you do something off the beaten track. It can mean going rock climbing if you don't want to stay stuck indoors all the time. Make a point to spend a little time doing something that is not just in the routine, and that will distract your mind from feeling a little bit nostalgic here. It's not all about the days gone by. It is all about happy memories, yes, from time to time, but if we start to think all the best years have already gone, then that can prevent progress, and that can become a self-fulfilling prophecy. So you need to get some fire in your belly in the first week and get some creative juices going, get some creative things flowing and moving forwards, because we have a very strong card here in the Queen of Swords in the second week. So if you have the Six of Cups and you're wondering about how you can implement or take a bit of a risk now and again, or unleash this kind of energy that maybe you're feeling kind of a bit or so back and forwards in the flow of things. Oh, I'm moving on to this now. It was so good before the change. Don't do that, because I think that will prevent the change becoming as much as you can possibly make it. Maybe this is a break that you're having. Maybe this is something that you're taking a step away from, and you're worried that if you step too far, you are actually going to miss what you've moved from. Don't worry about that, because I think that this other thing that you're going to be doing is going to give you enough perspective in looking at it's going to give you enough perspective so you can look at things in the way that you need to look at them, basically. That's the one message that I'm getting, and I don't entirely know what it means, but I think that maybe you will come to that understanding. So, in the second week with the Queen of Swords, this can point to a woman in your life, or it can be yourself. It doesn't have to be, male or female, it doesn't have to be, but this is not a woman or a person to be trifled with. And this can point to the need for you to be forceful and honest in your opinion or some situation to get your needs met. You may have to put your foot down, and your instincts are going to be serving you well. You already know what it is you want and need. I mean, Queen of Swords is all about communication, so you just have to go after it. You may have to be mindful of other people's boundaries as you're doing so, because this forceful energy, that is pushing on, and I think I mentioned this a while ago actually in another reading. Some people may find this forcefulness abrasive, especially sensitive little ones. That they are out there, so you don't want to crush on their ego, you don't want to crush on their emotional well-being. You just want to say, hang on, I don't want this, I'm not having it, no. And then you can move on from that and kind of be okay. But there is tact involved, and there is also an element of understanding. So even though you may be very clear on what needs to happen, don't broadcast it far and wide, and don't overreact to perceived disrespect. So if you're looking for a chance to get out of this situation, if you're looking to maybe cut through the forest like this lady has done and kind of make your stand here, then I believe you're going to do it. I also see some form of travel in this second week. It's like she's suddenly walking amongst hills or clouds or getting to where she needs to be. So this, I believe, is to beware the impulse to be too forceful, but also beware the impulse to be too careful. So balance the fear just the right way, and then you should be able to go forwards in a very strong manner. You're not sticking still this month. If you can help it at any time, move on, push forwards, carry on the energy, take steps where you need to, take a leap of faith sometimes where you need to. You may not have all the little individual bits of your plan sorted, but you will have other people or experience other people who do. So you're likely to find that although you're going to get a little bit competitive maybe in this area because you're striving for what you want, and certainly with the 7 wands in the third week, you may, feeling a little bit defensive, you are going to come out on top. So things could be going, or should be going very well. You should be feeling good, you should be moving right along, You may still have regular moments of self-doubt. It's unfortunate, but I think there's a quote somewhere that I always want to commit to memory. What is it? It's like the true artist is the one who has crippling self-doubt, but the arrogant artist is always the one who does nothing. Is that if you're arrogant, oh, I know everything, I know everything, and then it's a pile of poop what you create. That's the thing. That's I think the true artist is always wondering how best to improve. But in this week, your thinking is clear, and again, the Seven of Wands, because you're in such a defensive or progressive time, you feel the fear, you do it anyway. Don't hesitate to make where you stand clear to people. Your thinking is going to be clear. You're likely to be helping someone out by spelling things out for them, literally. Change is coming. It's a positive change. This is both personal and business life, so this could be independent thinking for yourself, maybe becoming self-employed or having something else on the side. If it's a personal sentiment, I believe you're going to be cutting some people out that may be wanting to drag you back, and if you've ever wanted to be self-employed, now is the time to give this a great deal of thought and do your homework. If you're already committed in a relationship, don't hesitate to speak your mind to your beloved. This will only improve your relationship as long as you're aware and you're considerate of the way in which you speak your mind. If you're not with anybody, I feel you. If you're single, this card can indicate that you're about to meet somebody new away from your usual haunts, away from your normal areas. So you could literally be on holiday and meet somebody, you know, some winter sun or pre-winter sun, and you can go away and you'll see somebody that really sets your heart on fire. So that's the kind of Seven of Wands, that feeling that I'm getting for the third week. It's something that's, yeah, you're going to be pushing forwards, but with the Knight of Wands, the Prince of Wands, it's got a horse there, it's the same thing. He seems to be kind of a dashing young lad, you know, so this is a great time again for travel if you can get away. You should be feeling charged up, and with the energy of the previous week, again, feels like you're going to be close to meeting somebody, or meeting, how to say it, you know, sometimes they give me images and it's very hard to incorporate them into words because they're very kind of literal with it, but also very vague. So they give me the sense of this person being there for you, but what does that add to the reading? It's that sort of sense. So the way that I'm going to say this now is that the messages are likely to be positive because this messenger coming in is somebody to be there for you. It will be related to your personal progress. So whether you see personal progress as career or just something to evolve spiritually, you're going to likely be more successful than you would have expected. So you've got a lot of reason to feel pride. You may be asked to travel. This could be the week of invitation. I believe you're going to be having some enjoyable moments. There's somebody new again coming in. This new person is likely to have hair on the lighter end of the spectrum. So if you're already committed, again, make sure communication is as clear as it can be. Make a point to just talk to each other, and this will improve your feelings of closeness substantially if you're having trouble there. Again, if you're looking for somebody, this could be the week that you do find a connection. It's like a daisy chain of people. You could start to see these people kind of weaving their way to bring somebody very key into your life. Now, the interesting thing for me is that we have the Goddess of the Moon card. Now, Leo, you're not really associated with the moon. You know, you're associated with these deep embers, these deep summery colours as we're just going into the harvest and it's all beautiful and red and whatever. But the Goddess of the Moon, she sees the other side of life. She sees the emotional and the deep subconscious. She looks into you, and she, speaking from personal experience, she looks into you and she sees you, your soul. She doesn't see the outside. She sees what's going on the inside. Like any psychic or medium who's a face reader or somebody who goes within, she scans you and she knows exactly what's wrong. She knows exactly what you need improvement on. And she's almost like The way I feel about the moon is when I go outside and I look up at the full moon or any time of moon, I always smile because I get this warmth. And I know the moon is a cold energy, some people say, but it's almost like you are being watched over. It's a feminine energy, it's something that's really connecting with your inner spirit. It doesn't just bless your body, it blesses your soul. And instead of geeing you up with revitalizing influence and things like that, it really sees the inside and it encourages you to do the same. So this, I feel, is a case of being fiery and fired up, yes, and pushing forwards, but there's always that little instinct of speak your mind, speak whatever you feel, but don't be unaware of what your subconscious wants, of what your inner spirit is looking for here. So the goddess of the moon, pay attention to the moon cycles, because I know we're approaching the lunar eclipse. Something may start at the end of September into the month of October, and it could, be the beginning of a big boost of something within your life. So if you can, celebrate at the new moon, celebrate at the full moon, celebrate anything that you can to do with the moon, and just take note of how the stages affect you. Now, you may have noticed, speaking of the moon, that I have an offer on at this point in time, because it's a super blood eclipse moon, full moon, on the 28th. I now have until the 9th of October, special offer on reading. So if you would like a personal reading with me, it is now cheaper for a limited time on it only, and it's basically just to celebrate this new moon time, this big full glorious moon that I'm going to be basking in, hopefully, if the skies are clear, and just celebrating the change. So if you want a personal reading with me, do take a look. Otherwise, if you want to support me on Patreon, I would also welcome and embrace that. If you want to subscribe or leave a comment or email me, I also love to do that and connect with you all on a personal level. So whatever you feel like doing this month, on October, just make sure that it's the truest of heart and it's the purest of soul, because otherwise you could see that this goes on a little bit of a nostalgia trip, and you may be worried about the changes that are happening. But I am looking forward to reading for you in November, and I am also looking forward to seeing what happens around this eclipse. May be a little bit of ripples coming in. We'll see how that goes in the weekly reading. But until then, take care, Leo, and I wish you all the best.